Hello, my name is David Mahalik. Here at Fort Defiance Industries, we're talking about the P2131, and today we're going to talk about just the alarm codes that you typically will see, the ones that you're most likely going to see. So we're going to go through five to seven alarm codes, and in the other videos, you can see what happens when an alarm code comes up, but we're going to more talk about what are the possible causes of these alarm codes, and maybe some things you can do as an operator to fix them. So there are 23 alarm codes, and a lot of those codes you're going to have to call maintenance to fix those, to help you work through and troubleshoot. So always reference your technical manual for an explanation of these. So I'm going to go through the technical manual when I'm talking about these top five. So here we go. The first one, cycle aborted, 01. Again, anytime you're running a cycle, there will be an abort button in the bottom left. So you can always press an abort. And when you press that abort, the sterilizer registers that as an alarm. So when you go to the log screen, you're going to get 01 cycle aborted. And anytime you get an alarm, you can press reset. And the cycle aborted is no harm at all. It can be pressed anytime if you forgot to do something, or you need to step away from the sterilizer for an extended period of time, and you want to go ahead and abort it. So no problem at all if you get an 01 cycle aborted. Another one you might see a lot is the O2 low water level. When you first turn on the sterilizer on a first setup, and you haven't put water into the sterilizer main unit, you are going to get that alarm, and you can press reset, but you're not going to be able to clear that log until you've added water. So you are going to have to go to the back of the unit and add water with the water recovery system, and then you'll be able to reset that alarm. So again, that no problem with that alarm, but that is protecting the sterilizer from overheating. So if it doesn't have water in it, it is going to throw that alarm and force you to add water. And it won't even turn on the heaters and get hot until you've added water and cleared that alarm out. So one other one that's kind of just daily operation that you might see a high frequency of is 15 door open alarm. If you tried to open this door during a cycle, you would get that alarm. But where you might see it a little more often is towards the end of the cycle, when you might think the cycle is already finished, and you try to open the door before it's done venting, you're going to get that 15 door open alarm. And other causes, there could be a malfunction in the actual door switch, and you'd have to call maintenance for that. But for you, when you get that green light and that water recovery system turns off at the end of a cycle, that's kind of when you're ready to open the door. If you open it right before that, you're going to get that 15 door open alarm. All right, so these next four I'm going to talk about are all kind of related. They all have to do with temperature. Again, we have a temperature probe sitting down here in the drain, and when you're in a cycle during exposure, we are controlling off that temperature probe down here. So temperature is very critical. During exposure, it maintains it at that 273 degrees. And if anything happens with that temperature control, that probe down here, or anything here in the electrical enclosure with the electronics, you might get some of these alarms. But what I'm going to do today is talk about what you can do as an operator to fix these. So again, if you look in the manual, there are a few things where you'd have to call maintenance, a few possible causes where you have to call maintenance, but we're going to talk about the ones that you can fix. So if you look at 09 jacket pressure high, and possible causes, as an operator, you can check that the SMU tilt is not steep enough. If it's not steep enough and water's not drained to the front, then you might get this jacket pressure high. And let me step back a little bit. The jacket pressure high, we have pressure sensors here under this panel and it's constantly reading the pressure of that jacket where the water is boiling. And if for some reason that that continues to boil in an uncontrolled manner and the pressure goes high, we'll get this alarm. So it's protecting the sterilizer and you. So it will throw this alarm if the pressure gets too high. Two other things you can check as an operator. If when you filled it up with water for the first time, if you didn't open the manual jacket vent valve on the back of the unit and you filled it up with the water recovery system, they'll compress a bunch of air in that jacket, and when you flip this on and allow it to heat up, you'll also heat up that air, and that air does not heat up in a similar manner to the water and steam, and you'll actually get this alarm as well, and you'll go over pressure. So always open up that jacket vent valve when you're filling it up for the first time. From then on, when you're hot during cycles, you can press that. You do not have to open up the jacket vent valve from then on. Finally, sometimes the drain screen down here can get plugged, and if you're not allowing condensation to flow out, you can also get this 09 jacket pressure high. All right, also the three other ones that are very related to this, flip to number 16, chamber high temperature. Again, the three things you can check as operator: air and jacket. In addition to getting air trapped during the fill up, you can also get air in there for other reasons. So typically you're just going to reset and rerun the cycle. Also, again, you can check condensate drain screen down there and just make sure it's not plugged. And then finally also check the tilt of the sterilizer. Always a good test when you first set it up. Pour some water in the back and it should drain out. All right, finally 22 and 21. Also related to temperature, the things you can check as an operator are the condensate drain screen down here and tilt of the sterilizer. Everything else has to do with the electronics here in the electrical enclosure and some stuff in the water recovery system under the panels. So you're going to want to call maintenance for all those problems. But there are a few things you can check as an operator. So that's the alarm codes that you're possibly going to see a lot of. But if everything's set up right and running correctly, you shouldn't have any problem. But if you do, call maintenance. Thank you very much.